Welcome back, everybody. Episode 28, Surrender at 5 podcast. This one is going to be a banger because we finally found a duo stronger than me and Attica. And I'm really excited for this because this is like the best friend connection that everybody wants to have. And not everybody has it. So I'm really excited for this one. Last week, we had Psyche on the show for the Badass Women of Unite. And Curly was busy. Of course, you know, world famous superstar rising in the ranks. But this week we were able to get her on the show. And I'm really excited because I've always wanted Curly on the show. And finally the stars aligned. So this week we have Psyche and CurlieQ on the show. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Excited to have you here. Really excited. Attica.
Yes.
How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing fabulous. I'm excited to be here in the presence of Curly and Psyche, aka Stromboli, at the same time.
Oh, you said it before me.
I was not prepared.
Man.
Darn right. I was waiting. I was like, he's not going to say it. That's mine. I'm taking it. Yes.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, we'll get to that part. How the usernames came to be. But when I heard that, I was like, oh my goodness. But
I died. I'll never forget it as long as I live.
Never forget that story. But yeah, welcome to the show. Welcome back, Psyche. How are you doing this evening?
I'm good. I can't believe we're this early in the show and we got the Stromboli drop.
It was a race, I'm telling you.
It really was. And CurlieQ, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing good. It's really good to be here. Yeah, sorry I couldn't be there for the last episode. I was doing casting stuff, but super excited that I finally was able to join in on a podcast.
Yes, it's really cool. Really excited for this one. We got some big names in here. For everybody listening in at home, make sure you guys come check us out on YouTube. As always, follow, subscribe. Make sure you support our guests this evening. Shout out to the Twitch chat. Really appreciate you guys being here. You guys really amped tonight. I can see Twitch chat. Really appreciate you guys. So I want to start this off. We like to ask our guests how they got into Pokemon before we get into Unite and all that. Just kind of pull back the curtain to let the folks know who may not know you just yet, how you got into the world of Pokemon and streaming and things of that nature. So if you guys don't mind, allow me to start with Psyche. I want to ask Psyche, how did you get into the world of Pokemon and what was your first Pokemon game?
So my first Pokemon game was Yellow.
Ooh.
I remember I was like 5 or 6 and I lived with my cousins early in life.
Yeah.
So I have a very specific memory of like being huddled around our one Game Boy, like the 4 of us.
Oh.
And my oldest cousin Ryan started crying hysterically, and he like thought his Onyx died, which that doesn't really happen. And like everyone was like, no, it fainted, and he was like, no, it's dead. And it was like a whole thing. And the whole time I was like, things can die in this game. I want to try. So from then on, like I feel like my whole life Pokemon has been the one of the most constant things in my life. It's the like franchise that I've kept up with the most. And even when I was in like middle school, high school, college, when I was like trying really hard to be popular and I was in a sorority and in cheerleading and stuff, I still played Pokemon games like on the low key. So
Oh, you got to, yeah.
yeah, of course. But you know, nobody knew that I had like a DS in my pants drawer in my dorm room.
Yo, that is amazing to hear. For years, I was the same going through high school, college, and then not a lot of folks know. I played a smidget of semi-pro basketball, but through all of those years, I was the same, and I was playing Pokemon on the low, and I just couldn't let it go. So I think the only generation I missed was Black and White 2. And then I came back, I think it was XY, things of that nature, and then really dive back into it. Because at some point, like, Pokemon just became cool, mainstream-wise, and then everyone was doing it. And I was like, oh, little do you guys know, look at this binder, look at these games, look at my collection.
Yeah,
Pokemon
I did
Yellow.
have one sorority sister who played Pokemon, and we would like have our nights where nobody knew that we were playing Pokemon together in the dorm rooms, but we did, and it was really cute.
Oh, I love that. That is so cool. Pokemon Yellow is really awesome. Did you enjoy Let's Go Pikachu, the remake, the 3D version on Switch?
I did a lot. I actually really liked the break from the battling mechanic where you could just like catch the Pokemon really easily. Like, obviously, I wouldn't want every game to be like that, but it was so nice to just have like, you don't have to worry about battling the whole time. You can just like run through the grass and randomly catch Pokemon really quickly. Same with Legends. I always say
Yeah.
arsonist. I know that's not the thing, but I
I'm
liked that
used
you
to
did not
too,
have to battle
honestly.
all the time. I liked that there was a new catching mechanic. I hope they keep exploring that because it's fun.
So when you talked about playing on the low, it just made me think of my dresser because I still have the stuff in the dresser. So just so you know, yeah, it's
That's
really a thing. You're
awesome.
not alone out there. We were all trying to be cool, but keep this on the low until it became okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
but
remember
wait.
when new games would come out, I would go to the store with my mom and we'd go to like Target to go get them. And I would make
Ooh,
sure when we were in line at the cash register to be like, man, my cousin's really gonna love this game.
Oh
I'm
my
so glad we're
god.
getting it for his birthday.
oh my goodness. You know,
Oh
this is a
my
safe
god.
space, and I'm glad we can share these stories because same experience, but I'd be at GameStop, and it'd always be a really smart, intelligent, nerdy dude behind the counter talking about it. Got my hands in my pocket, and I'm just like, yeah, man, I don't know much about it, but my kids like it, so I'm trying to get it for my kids, you know? Like, totally for me.
Exactly.
Totally for me. In the parking lot, ripping it off in the car, getting it started. Oh my God, yeah.
Literally reading the manual like in the car. Oh, it's hilarious. Isn't
It
it
really
funny that
is.
like we're part of like a bunch of adults in a community that play Pokemon game now? I had no
Yeah,
idea that this community even existed until last year. So like
seriously, yeah. Like
mind
looking at
blowing.
the back end of the podcast, like the age group brackets, we
Mhm.
have way more people who watch and download the show on Spotify from 25 to 52. It blows my
My
mind.
people. Those are my
Like that,
people. Thank you.
yeah. Like that mid 30 bracket is like gigantic, and I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, and I'm thinking about it like 20 years ago. Like, yeah, I was a kid, so everyone
Yeah,
grew up just
Yeah,
that's
loving the
we're
when it
like
game.
started.
moving with the game.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's really awesome.
All right, but
Um,
tell me I'm not alone. Curly, did you hide that you played Pokemon too? Because I don't know about y'all. I thrived on that. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go home and play the new game. Who's with me? I'll be in my PJs all night. You guys can just come over. Like, am I the only one out of you three that just embraced it?
So for me, actually, I got started with Pokemon Yellow, but I grew up with an older
ooh,
brother that was obsessed with Pokemon, not just the games, but also the cards as well. I remember my mom would take him to Toys R Us, and my brother would compete in actual like Pokemon trading card tournaments and stuff. And me and my brother were super, super competitive. So if he liked something, I didn't like it. Like I wasn't supposed to like it. I didn't want him to know that I thought what he liked was cool. So I would have to like steal his like he would go over like his friend's house for sleepovers and stuff. And so I would go into his room and I would take his Game Boy and his Pokemon games and I would play them while he was away at his friend's house. And I did not want him to know that I liked Pokemon. So I always had to like play it in secret and like I don't know why I never wanted him to know. Well, and then like if he found out that I was taking his stuff, he would probably get mad. But yeah. So I remember there was a point too because my mom like gave my brother a lot of attention for that. I remember whenever like Yu-Gi-Oh became a thing, I was like, all right, this is my moment. Mom, I'm getting into Yu-Gi-Oh! And I literally did it just for attention. Like I wasn't like I don't even remember any Yu-Gi-Oh cards besides like Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Ooh,
So like
the best
I
one.
really did not care about it at all. I just wanted to like, be into a card game much like my brother was, but it couldn't be Pokemon.
That's fair.
Yu-Gi-Oh is
That's
awesome.
fair. I
That is
love
fair.
Yu-Gi-Oh! So thank you. Even though you only remember one card, I only remember
Yeah.
like three,
That's
so
the
it's
best
fine.
card. That is the best card.
That is
That's
best
what got
card.
me
It's
into
fine.
Yu-Gi-Oh! That
Yeah,
gigantic
and
dragon,
yeah,
just
and
all the
Exodius
flames.
or whatever.
Oh, Exodia.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
yeah, Exodia, there you go.
Exodia.
Mhm. Mhm.
It was like the strongest deck until I'm a nerd. Weevil Underwood took it and threw over the boat. And Yugi's like, no, my grandpa's deck. That meme is
So
so
you had
funny.
that ready. You had that stored in your memory for this
Oh yeah.
moment.
I'm with you, Curly. I love Yu-Gi-Oh! Blue Eyes White Dragon all the way. Oh yeah.
100%. We rep it.
So playing Pokemon Yellow, I want to ask, did you guys have troubles fighting Brock at the first gym?
That was so long ago. I honestly like don't even remember what I struggled with. I feel like when it came to the older Pokemon games, especially since I was so young, I don't even recall if I ever like beat any of them. Mainly because I would just kind of run around in the grass a lot, leveling up my Pokemon, trying to find new Pokemon and stuff. Like for me, I didn't even really care about like going through the story. I just loved running around, talking to the NPCs and running into random Pokemon and stuff. So I don't remember like what I had difficulty with like gym wise. What about
I
you,
enjoyed the
Psyche?
game. I always got my butt kicked. And like Skullboy said in chat here, I had to go back and find a Mankey and learn the type advantages and disadvantages because I'm following the anime. I'm like, oh, if Ash could do it, we can do it. Like, just use Pikachu against everything. It doesn't really work
Yeah.
that way.
Just overlevel your Pikachu. It's totally fine. That's all I did. I'm
Yeah.
like, you get to be level 100 immediately. It's fine.
We had Crunches on the show, and she said that she leveled her Butterfree, and her Butterfree just annihilated people. And I was like, you're a boss. I'm like, you were destroying gyms and people with Butterfree? That's crazy.
Right.
So you
Of
can
all
just
the
use.
Just
Pokemon.
over level that one Pokemon and then just
Mhm.
use it at every single gym. You're like a level 60 fighting level 30
Yep.
Pokemon in the gym.
So,
That's me.
yep.
Yeah, right.
So going forward from Pokemon Yellow, um, what are some other titles as time went on that you guys enjoyed?
Ooh, I am a big Pokemon Coliseum truther. That
Ooh,
was my game. I
Pokemon
loved
So
it.
good.
You were
Coliseum.
like
So
a
good.
reformed bad guy. I loved all the music. Mirror B was like one of my gay icons, I think. Like the underground city and oh my gosh, I love that game so much. I want them to remake it with the exact same story, just a little better looking. And I
Yes.
will play that for a weird amount of times for how many times I've already played the original version.
That's a good one. What about you, Curly? What titles did you enjoy going forward after Yellow?
For me, Pokemon Puzzle League has a huge soft spot in my heart. That game
Oh,
gives me so much nostalgia. Like I can even like recall like some of the like things that the characters say and stuff. Like keep on trying. Like I just
you can
it
do
like the
it. Sorry.
music and everything. Yeah, it's like ingrained in my brain. I'm really big into puzzling games. I grew up in a video game family, and my mom was like huge into like puzzles and stuff.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Pokemon Puzzle League, it was like one of my favorite games on the 64, and I still have it on my original 64 to this day.
Oh, let's go. That's so cool. Okay.
I love that. It's amazing.
Heck yeah. So I'd never played Pokemon Puzzle League. Um, Games like that. What is it? Pokemon Ranger. I don't want to call them the side games, but the games in that
The
category I never really dabbled into.
like the mystery dungeon and
Oh, I
stuff
love
like
Mystery
Yes,
that.
Dungeon
yes,
too.
Mystery Dungeon. Yeah, I felt like when I
Yeah.
saw those games, like it might sound dumb because I played most Pokemon games, but when I saw those games, I was like, nah, that's kiddie stuff. I don't want to play that. But I'm assuming those games were fantastic and really fun.
Have you
So
have you tried Mystery Dungeon?
I played it a little bit, but this was like when I was sophomore and junior in high school. So in that athlete mindset, getting on varsity and trying to be the
Mm.
cool kid, I was just like, nah, I'm good with Pokemon stuff. But now I'm kind of like, I wish I played them just for the memories and stuff. For anyone listening, don't be the cool kid in high school. Just do what your heart wants. Okay, trust me. Don't hold yourself back.
Exactly.
Don't
Being
hold
cool is
yourself back.
overrated. Let's be real. Like, do what you want.
It really is. Because
Mhm.
look where I ended up doing a Pokemon podcast. So just be yourself, guys. It's okay.
See, and I just followed the same path, like always the nerd. Here I am, being a nerd. But
You're right about that.
speaking
Yeah.
of being a nerd and where we are right now, Psyche, Curly, how did you both get into streaming? I'm going to start with Curly on this one. What was the
Mm.
thing that kind of lit that fire under you to say, you know what, we're going to go live?
So I mentioned earlier video games have kind of been a part of my family like since I grew up. My mom was into video games, my dad was into video games, and so was my brother. Kind of got the best of both worlds, like shooter games, horror games from my stepdad, my brother, and then my mom, the cutesy puzzle games, Animal Crossing, stuff like that. So I just like games have just always been a part of my life. And I definitely like as I got older started, turning to video games as like kind of my escape for, you know, going through like tough times and whatnot. And so like as I, got older, I think it was when Fortnite came out, like when it was in beta, like not even like when it released, but just when it was in beta. I remember like few streamers got access to the game early, and I didn't really have like any video game friends until I started going to college. So I had a bunch of friends that were super super hyped about Fortnite, and they also introduced me to Twitch. So I got into playing Fortnite with my friends, and then I also at the same time got introduced to Twitch. It was my first time like ever seeing like streaming, like live video game streaming. And I thought it was super cool, like seeing how these people had communities. Like they were so entertaining and interactive and good at the game. And so, from watching other streamers, I kind of started to like when I would play Fortnite and I would have like moments where I popped off, I would clip it, started posting to like my IRL social medias. And like a lot of my IRL like friends, like people that I went to high school and stuff, like they didn't really care about gaming. Like I only had a few friends that were gamers. And so I was kind of like, you know what, I kind of want to like create my own community of gamers. And I utilize
Mm.
gaming as a way to escape. I want to be able to create that space for others as well. Through watching and playing Fortnite, I got introduced to my favorite streamer. She's a very big streamer. She originally was on Twitch, but now she's on YouTube. It's Valkyrie. She's like my number one
Oh,
inspiration for
yes.
She's
streaming. I
awesome.
I love her vibe. She's so
Yeah.
funny. She has an amazing backstory and honestly deserves like all the success that she's had. So she's just huge, huge, huge inspiration to me, especially as a woman. And so yeah, I just was inspired by her, and then also just like I love gaming, and just the thought of being able to create my own community of people who also just wanted to have a place where they could hang out, vibe, have fun. That's what I sought after. So I actually took some time to really plan things out because that's the kind of person that I am. So like I, saved up, got a PC. I eventually got, a webcam. I used to have like a headset with the mic attached to it. Like everything has been upgraded over time.
Damn.
Nothing wrong with that. There are some really good headsets with, mic on the end there. But I've made upgrades throughout the years. I've been doing this since I'll be celebrating 4 years on June 3rd of this year. So
Ooh,
I've been
congrats.
consistent ever since. Like I set myself a schedule. I said I was gonna stick to it. Obviously, if I have my off days, I'll take a day off or whatever I have to do. But yeah, I've just tried to be very consistent, dedicated, and yeah, I'm very passionate about streaming. I love it.
Love to hear that. Like you said, hustle, dedication, motivation. That is the
Mhm.
key to success right there. Love to hear that. Go ahead, Psyche.
So this is like the first gaming community I've ever been a part of, ever, like Unite community. So I actually, this is funny. I didn't really know what Twitch was until I joined the Unite community. So
Oh, wow.
like, yeah. So I started
Hmm.
streaming in October. And I think I was on Twitter before I was streaming, and it just kind of was like one of those things where a bunch of people were doing it. I wanted to do it, and I would stream here and there, but not very consistently. And then I remember actually it was like a conversation between Curly and Scolded. We were all in BC together one day, and they were talking about streaming, and like they both have way bigger platforms than I do on Twitch. But I remember thinking like, I wish I could relate to this conversation a little bit more. So I think for me, getting into streaming, it was more about like being able to understand my friends and kind of what they were going through, and you know, just being able to like, because I'm pretty active, especially in Curly's community, and it helps me that I stream because now I feel like I have a perspective where I can help her community too, and in turn, like, it's gone very well for me, like no complaints, and I've had a lot of fun and stuff. It's not something that I ever thought I would do because I am kind of shy and awkward at times. But
I honestly can never tell. No sarcasm.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Seriously. You
I
saying you're
used
shy?
to be
Yeah.
such an introvert too, and like this has like really gotten me out of my shell because I am. If you met me in real life, I am so quiet and just like very timid, I guess. But yeah, no, it's been so much fun. I've met so many cool people through it. But yeah, it originally started just like just wanted to figure out different ways where I could relate to and help my friends with their stuff.
So you said October, but I think it cut out a little bit. Do you mean like October 2021?
22.
22.
So I've
Okay,
been
got you.
streaming for 7 months.
That's crazy. Like I honestly never
So
would have
cool.
known. That is amazing, bro.
Yeah, it's super new. When I first decided to do it, I did not know what a capture card was. Like, I didn't know. I like didn't have a PC. Like, all of this is very new. It's still new to me. Every day, my chat teaches me different things about Twitch that I didn't know.
Wow. No, this is like so cool and like wholesome, like to learn, because I've followed Curly for a great while now, and I learned of PSYKEYstr through Curly streams, subbing, hanging out there, and to find out you're saying you streamed less than a year, I'm just like in awe right now. I'm like, there's no way, because you just come off so natural. You handle chat very well. Like both of you, obviously, all three of you, but like to find out you just started PSYKEY, that's crazy to me. So like props to you. Just keep it going for like Curly
Yeah,
said,
and
hustle, dedication, motivation. Go ahead.
I have such good friends, like in people like Curly, who have, if I need anything, if I need advice on it, like they tell me easily, like no questions asked. I could not do it without knowing people like Curly. And then obviously, like, if you've ever seen me in a Twitch chat, I like to spam it a lot and be really hyper and goofy. And so I think part of that, like before I started streaming, I had all these friends from just being annoying in Twitch chats. And so like I think all of that combined, it made sense that like they came to my streams too, because we're always together, you know? So
Yeah.
it helped that I had already made a lot of friends and I had an active Twitter account going. So I had a lot of things in my corner and a lot of people in my corner when I started.
Got you. Okay. I want to ride Attica's coattail here. So I'll ask PSYKEY a question, then to Curly. So PSYKEY, you're saying you're streaming less than a year and you have a major fan base, and I just see you growing every day with it. So let's say somebody wants to start their streaming adventure this month, next month. What's one piece of advice you can give to them as somebody who's still within a year but taking off very fast?
I would say be very genuine. Because again, I've never had the intention of growing. Like it's always been about enjoying myself and like being with my friends and understanding my friends. And I think you can tell a difference in people who are more about getting ahead. So I think the people that come to my streams come because we're genuinely friends. Like I would talk to them anywhere. Like I really just enjoy my time around them. And so I say that because my next piece of advice is to find a community you're comfortable in, but don't be part of that community with the intention of growth. Be part of that community because you want to be there, because you're actually friends with those people. And just being your best self will help you find the community that you're going to thrive in.
I fully agree with that. I agree with that, being your best self part and being in the community without the intention to grow. Because I feel like people who try to push that, and then when it doesn't happen, they'll get frustrated and things could crumble from there. But if you're there to be wholesome, genuine, and just make friends and have a network, I feel like it just happens over time. I used to be the other one a little earlier on, like 2-3 years ago, but then, you know, different groups happen, they get built, they fall apart, and I just learned like I just got to be myself, and then things will just come naturally. And once I stopped trying to push, it just started to happen, and I was like, oh my god, this is crazy. It's so amazing. So W advice right there. It's really great. So my question for Curly, as somebody who is established, well on their way to great things, I want to ask you, for people who have a platform and are starting to grow, or maybe not growing just yet, how could somebody get into starting charity streams? Because I really admire you for that. And the reason I ask is I had a sister growing up. She passed away, rest in peace. She had epilepsy and CP, cerebral palsy. And I've always wanted to raise money for that, but I never knew how to approach it. So I feel lucky to have you here. And I want to ask, how could someone get into charity streams? Because I really want to do that.
So, as someone that's trying to find their footing into this kind of work with charity or with streaming, highly suggest Tiltify.
Oh,
Tiltify. They work with various different organizations. They will not take a cut at all. So everything that you raise will
oh,
go to the charity that you select. And so you'll just have to make sure that, like, just browse through their charity list. There's tons of them. I'm sure you could definitely find one that is related to, something that you care about, which I highly suggest. If you are going to raise money for charity, highly recommend that you find something that means a lot to you, because it just brings so much more value to what you're raising money for when your community sees that, this isn't just, you're just trying to put yourself up on a pedestal and raising money for charity. When you actually care about what you're raising money for, people can tell, like Psyche was saying earlier, like, um viewers, pick up on vibes and whatnot. And so I think it's just really important that you raise money for a cause that's very near and dear to you, and then your community will also care about that cause as well. And then really, just if you want to have a successful charity stream, plan it out, figure out your milestones, your incentives, be realistic about it. Worst case scenario, you set some goals that are too low, or you set some goals that are too high. There can always be another charity stream. You just have to kind of figure it out, trial and error. There have been some milestones that I've tried out that, didn't work out very well, and some things that have done really well that we've brought back to multiple streams. So, yeah, just figuring out those milestones, incentives, maybe like a top donor award. Like from my last charity stream that I did, one of my milestones was, I'm going to be doing a race to masters on a fresh account, and the top donor gets to join me for that race to masters.
damn, that sounds cool.
um yeah, so like, you don't even have to like put money into it, like, I also use that as an opportunity to maybe like play something else on stream that the community has been talking about or looking forward to. Like, definitely open up the conversation to your community too. Like, what would you guys like to see? Like, what do you think would be a good milestone and incentive? And I always try to include like what my community wants in that, because obviously, like, if it's a charity stream, that they get to incorporate their own ideas, and they're going to be more than willing to help you reach them.
That is an amazing answer. I never knew about that, and I definitely want to check out Tiltify. Not to say it just to say it, but I really have always thought about it. And
Hmm.
there's a lot of things I'm confident about in life, but that's one area where I'm just like really nervous. I'm just like, I don't know how to do this. I'm scared. I don't know. I don't want to fail. But I've always wanted to make that happen, because growing up with a sibling with a disability was really tough. Because
Hmm.
I think most people experience like bullies in school, but mine was like dealing with people making fun of my sister because we were close in age. So we were in school together. And I was like, you know what? One day I want to make this happen. So, a random sidestep, like when you guys were talking about heights, like I didn't hit a growth spurt until 8th grade. So I was always like the short, pudgy kid everyone poked on and made fun of. But that 7th to 8th grade summer, you best believe I came through walking the hallways real tall, head held real high, you know? So then that's kind of when the teasing shifted to my sister, and then I had to become a defender of that. So really appreciate that answer. Thank you very much. Honestly, that's some W advice right there. Thank you. All right.
Oh, go ahead.
So, good, Attica.
Oh, I was actually going to segue. Since you were playing new characters as kind of a reward for the basically the dono, the top dono. What actually is the first character you ever played in Pokemon Unite? When you downloaded that game, the very first thing out of all the options we had, what was that first one? And I'm going to start with Curly on this one.
I'm pretty sure it was Lucario because okay, I
Ooh.
don't remember like first one. I just remember the first Pokemon that I spent my coins on, that I possibly could spend my coins on, was Lucario. And you know what's insane? So I played a lot of Lucario seasons 1 through 3. I loved playing Pup Lucario and Close Combat. And then of course Lucario E-Speed became meta, solo top, and then that's when I kind of stopped playing it. But for some reason, Lucario is still like my highest win rate, and I like don't touch the Pokemon like at all. I don't know why. Maybe I need to go back to my Lucario days, but it's so weird. Like you guys think I pop off with like Trevenant and Mamoswine, like my defenders, but like my win rates are, you know, Lucario win rate. It's a 56%, but with
Attica
like
Curly,
can't stop
yes,
smiling.
yes.
She's in love
Come
right
back.
now.
that always shocks people because I'm a defender main and people never see me playing Lucario. But I was really big on Lucario and Zeraora.
Really?
Yeah,
Wait, these
yeah.
are my two. What, Curly?
Wow. Say
Curly, come
what?
back.
Yo, let me find out. Curly's out here bodying people with defenders. Let me find out. She's amazing with Lucario and Zera. That's pretty cool right there. That's awesome to hear.
My
I wasn't
girl right
expecting that at
there.
all.
My God.
Wow. You know,
Might
this
have
show
to
was
bring it
cool
back
because when we
for
asked that question, sorry, go ahead.
I might have to bring that back for Attica.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. It's cool
just
doing
as
the
a
show
treat. Just as a
because we
treat.
find out like someone comes on as their main, and then to find out like, Cookie Dough said that she was playing Pikachu, and I was like, what? I know you from Blissey. So to find out like the character that someone's known for in the said moment, they played something totally different. And I was like, this is awesome,
Yeah.
man. This is really cool. So Lucario and Zera. All right, Curly, I see you. Okay. Man. All right, Psyche, what about you?
So the first one that I got from the store was actually Garchomp.
Oh, what?
Which is
That's not a
whack.
psychic type. Wait.
It's not psychic. I play mainly ranged attackers, junglemons, and supports right now. And Garchomp, not really any of those. I'm pretty sure I like looked at a tier list online or something, a very inaccurate one, and it was like Garchomp's the best mon you can get. And I was like,
Oh no.
Oh my goodness. No
and I
way.
remember too because I was so frustrated because I was kind of cheeks at it. And I like all of these. I wanted Gardevoir so bad because Gardevoir and Hatterene, my top two favorite Pokemon. And I wanted Gardevoir, but all of these stupid tier lists that thought Garchomp was the shit, didn't like Gardevoir very much. And so finally I caved and did it. And so my first season I climbed to like something stupid with Gardevoir. But Garchomp was my first purchase. I want to believe it was because I think Cynthia's pretty. But I don't think that's
Yes.
Shout out to Cynthia.
Wait, y'all are playing my trios though. Like I started on Garchomp and moved to Zera and Luca. Like
Oh wow.
hello?
That's crazy.
Hello?
Wow,
Yeah.
look at that.
I love you guys. I
I
love
love
you.
it. I love this. Yeah, for real. Bow down. I love the energy here because those characters like are amazing. Like you have to body with them, and obviously the three of you do. So that's pretty cool. And Psyche, I couldn't tell Gardevoir was your favorite because you caught me with 3 ults the other night. I was in the black pit.
Ouch.
Oh my goodness. I was like on the edge, and I was like, run. And Psyche's like, nope, gotcha.
That was
Boom.
so funny too, because I remember I was the imposter that game. Like
Couldn't
I was
believe it.
trying.
Couldn't believe it.
I got like 2 quad kills. I played so much better when I was the imposter, and it was not intentional in the slightest.
You really did. But you know what? Since
I
we're talking
really
about that,
did.
let's slide to that. So for those listening, a few nights ago, Nick Does and Kestastic hosted, I think it's the first ever Pokemon Sus Invitational, which I felt very blessed to be a part of. People like Mage, Locke, Taco, CurlieQ, and Psyche here. And going into it, never played Among Us or any kind of deception game. So I was like the innocent boy learning learning his way through. So halfway through, I learned how to be deceptive a little bit and defend myself in the deliberations. So the one time I was actually the imposter, I botched it because I picked one of the banned characters on accident. And I knew it right there. I was like, no matter what I do for the next 10 minutes, they're going to annihilate me. And as soon as the match is over, they're all just like, Mike, Mike. I'm like, any deliberations? Nope, it's Mike. So I was like, damn, I'm out. But I want to ask you guys, how was your experience going through it? We'll go with Psyche first, and then Curly, because Curly captured the crown for the event. So go ahead, Psyche.
So I have actually never played Among Us either, but I do love lying on the internet. So I actually had a great time. That was really natural.
Didn't even hold back.
Um,
We just talked about being genuine and honest, you know, as a streamer.
you know,
Nailed it.
Oh my goodness.
I'm a Gemini, okay? There's two sides of me.
That is too funny.
So I feel like I did well for my first time. I felt like I was really good at the lying part. I loved being the imposter. I hated trying to figure out who was the imposter, and I love the attention too. So like, I don't know, it really suited me as a person.
Curly, how was your experience playing Pokemon Sus Invitational?
Well, I am the winner of the Sus Invitational, so I am the most sus unite gamer. And a little bit of history, unlike Psyche, I have much experience with Among Us. I was super obsessed with the game. I loved it. I just think it is such a different kind of game. It is a little it's interesting because like the game is, you know, you have to kind of be deceitful, you have to be manipulative, lie, throw people under the bus and whatnot. But as long as you find really chill people that, you know it's just a game and you gotta do what you gotta do to win the game, it is such a good time. So basically, there was really nothing to it. I was just like, okay, so I'm not gonna like really throw on purpose. I'm just gonna like not play as good as I normally would. But like I kept making like little tiny mistakes that like I didn't mean to do at all. Just, just me being me. And I'd be like, oh no, they're gonna suss me. Like they're gonna think it's me and it is me. And like like this wasn't intentional. Like I remember there was a Regieleki going to our tier 2 and it was like 220 and I was Gudra. And so I was like, okay, well, like we have a little bit of time to like get rid of this. So I'm going to try to like, get rid of it. I realized, okay, I'm Gudra. I actually can't get rid of this in time. So I started to walk away. And then my Greninja teammate goes up to the Regieleki where I am and starts hitting it. So I'm like, oh, okay. I turn back. I'm like, all right, we can shred this now because I have a teammate. Well, that made me look sus. They were like, Curly, why did you walk away from you were hitting the ray and then no one was there and then you walked away and you were going to let it in. And then as soon as Greninja went up there, then you walked back to it. Why? I'm just like, well, this is my thought process. And I wasn't lying. Like this was my intention. This is why I did this. But it made me look so I just thought it was really funny how like even when I wasn't trying to like grief my game, I look like a griefer.
Attica, I know you were in travel and working. Did you catch any of the sus games or the tweets activity after?
I saw the tweets. I definitely, you guys know that I'm a fiend for Twitter.
Oh.
But I did see the tweets about it and I was crying in the club because I wanted to be part of it. And of course, as everything, I can't join anything because of my work schedule. So that's amazing though. I would have, if I was the imposter, I would have sussed myself out immediately because I just play poorly anyways. So I would have been the one that used the little Gudra pull, like the get over here and accidentally pulled the thing into the base. And that's imposter or not. That is just my style. So, I would have been really bad at it.
Yeah. So for me, I believe everybody was streaming. I'll say everybody. Shout out to Locke. I think Locke fell asleep. I hope he woke up at some point. Shout out to Locke. I was streaming, and in between my games, I'd hop over to Nick's stream, turn the audio up, and then listen to deliberations. but then muted, go back into my team when it was time for our deliberations. And for the times that me and Psyche were teammates, she really is like a psychic gym leader, Elite Four member, champion, because I believed everything she said. There was only one game, but everything she said, I was just like listening. I was like, oh, it's not Psyche. No, she wouldn't lie. She's cool. She's cool, you know? And then Kestastic would be like, all right, imposter, speak up. It gets quiet, and then boom, here goes Psyche. Hey guys. I'm like, what? I'm like, no way. There's no way. And then there were games where listening to Curly do deliberations, it was insane listening to initially her team be like, it's you. And then I don't know if you do like debate club or if you're going to be a lawyer, but she just came out with this beautiful case and explanations and scenarios and timestamps. And everyone's like, okay, it's not her. And they just blame everybody else. And then Kez is like, all right, imposter, speak up. And then, hey guys. And I was like, oh, it was Curly. Like, oh my God, you guys are like made for that. So it was such an amazing time. Like, you guys murdered that. It was so cool.
Yeah, me and
Oh
Psyche were
man.
tied for the longest time too. We were tied at 5 points, and then we were both imposters in the same round.
Oh,
So
talk
like
about
there's
that.
like
Yeah.
yeah, there was like the imposter channel, and me and Psyche we're like, oh sheesh, like this is gonna be so great. I was trying to focus Psyche because we were like, okay, let's just like focus each other and like just but like it didn't work out that way because like I mean just the game, the game
Yeah, and
happened the way that it did. But
I literally picked Pikachu. So like, of course my ults hit everybody in the vicinity I could only let them off at certain points. So I'd like walk up to Curly, go to ult her, and then all of her teammates were behind her, and I would like kill a lot of people on accident. Yeah, it never worked out that way. Yeah, Curly won that round.
It was amazing. That was the one game that I picked up on when Psyche was Pikachu, because I forget which objective it was, and I'm like, hey, because I didn't know who it was at first. I'm like, what's that Pikachu doing? And I move the camera and then go back, and then I'm just like, wait a second, that seems kind of suspect. And then that's when the game picked up to me, and I was like, oh, the sus games, I get it now. So that was the one time we were doing deliberations. I had no words, nothing else, and they just asked me, who do you think it is and why? And I was just like, nope, it's Psyche. It's that Pikachu.
Yeah, y'all got me so fast.
From
on
that one
one
moment, I was like, it's Pikachu.
Everyone thought it was me. I was like, I can't even.
Yeah. But that was really great. Shout out to Nick and Kez for that event. Really cool. Can't wait for the next one and any other events that they put together. So yeah, let's segue and keep this going. For Pokemon Unite, I want to ask you guys, for this season, we know everybody is feeling the same pressure from Zacian and Comfey. I want to ask you, which Pokemon have you used and what ways have you found to get around it and still enjoy the game? Because I thoroughly enjoy it. I just accept it for what it is. Like most games I played, there's going to be power creeps, and this duel right here is really powerful. So let's start with Curly. How have you gotten through this season, and how do you keep the good vibes going?
Well, as far as like what Pokemon I've been using, I've been sticking to Trevenant and Slowbro. I think as much CC as you can throw on that dog, the better. So those have been my two go-tos. But honestly, it's really hard as a streamer because like you usually like set yourself time to stream. You're like, okay, I'm gonna stream for 3 hours, I'm gonna stream for 5 hours. And you sit down and it's like whether or not your games are going really good or really bad, you just kind of like sit there and have to push through it. I highly suggest there are so many streamers who do like friendlies, customs, community nights. And I know there's so many people like I'll play standards and people will come by and they're like, oh, standards. There's a bunch of bots in standards. I'm like, it actually, with the way that this game is, it is really fun to hit a bunch of bots. Like, I actually
Yeah.
love standards because, like, I'm a defender main. And so I feel like if I want to
What?
rank up, I know, right? And it's
Right.
surprise. If I want to rank up, like I have to play what I've mastered. So that's what I stick to with rank. But then when I jump into standards with my community, I like playing Scizor, I like playing Snorlax, I like playing
Ooh.
Greedent. I can actually enjoy playing other Pokemon besides just spamming what I'm good at and still end up like winning my games and having a good time despite it being bots. Like it's just really nice to be able to just enjoy the game actually for fun. Like imagine playing video games for fun. I know, right? Crazy.
Imagine.
But it really seriously, if you're having a tough time, especially if you stream, if you're having a tough time with rank, switch over to some standards with your community for a little bit. It's such a good time. It really is. And just play something new, experiment, troll, have fun. Like actually enjoy the game for what it is because there's so much more to Unite than just rank and elo and like we should be having fun with this game. So experiment and try to find what that means to you. For me, it's standards with my community.
Love that answer. I haven't played standards as much as I used to, but with those words, I need to get that incorporated back into my streams because it's exactly what you just said. Like ranked elo, let's go. But
Hmm.
you
Same.
know what?
Guilty.
I gotta switch
Yeah.
it up.
I'm a big rank snob too, so like for the longest time I would never play quick matches. I would never play
Oh,
standards. And now it's just it's so refreshing and I actually really do enjoy my time playing standards with the community. So find streamers who are doing that. Usually it's in, their stream title, friendlies, community day, whatever. There's streamers doing them all the time.
that's good advice. Before we get to Psyche, I want to do that more because a part of this game that really attracts me is the visuals, and I love the visuals of the other maps. But every time I log this game on, I start streaming, and someone's like, "Hey, we ranking?" And I'm like, "Yep, let's go." Instead of like
Yep.
going to standard, trying the snow map out, if it's still there. I hope it's still there. It's beautiful. And then the quick match maps, like the 3v3. I love that map. The square that goes around. Is it Reggie? Oh my God, who is it?
The
Regigigas, I
Gigas
think.
Reggie Gigas.
Aroma
Thank you.
Park.
I swear I play. Aroma, yes. Yep. That map. Love it. The 4v4. Like all the maps are so cool to me. And like that's what drew me into this game is the visuals. And I need to get back to that. So that's some good advice. So yeah, let's ask Psyche. What Pokemon have you been using to get through this Zacian Comfey era? And what do you do to stay positive about it with your community?
Yeah, so I have been trying to utility a little bit more. If I get first pick, I'll probably go with like an Espeon. But I also like I'll Blissey. Blissey I have a ton of games with, and then the other night if I was trioing the other night, I trusted my trio, so like I let them pick and then they let me run like Trevenant, Cinderace, like just all sorts of random picks that and it went really well. And when I'm streaming, I'll do ranked. And I don't know why, but it's just so much easier for me to stay positive when I'm streaming. Probably because I'm just watching chat and they're all really silly and goofy and make me laugh. And um I can guarantee you I don't know what's going on in my game most of the time because of my chat. Which is fine with me because then I can be like, oh sorry, I was reading chat. But I as far as like my downtime, I used to play this game just religiously every day. Like I'd come home from work and play. I don't really play off stream anymore unless I've been like invited to play or I've been trying really hard to like say yes to more events and like opportunities like that. Because I'm pretty again, I mentioned it before, I am pretty shy. So I'll get really comfortable with my people and stick in my corner and just like do whatever they want to do. So I've been trying to do a better job of saying yes to things. So we did like the Women's United, or the Women's International Women's Day customs, and then we like the sus games. I know I'm gonna be playing with Kess on Wednesday. I'm gonna be doing something with Void King sometime this month. I can't remember the dates exactly, but just like trying to say yes to things more often. And I think it's really important to find creative ways to play the game when we can't really count on the game itself right now and like the way the devs are handling things. But if you still want to get, scratch the itch, I think it's really fun to get a group of friends together and play in fun and creative ways. And yeah, that's what I've been trying to do.
No, I love that. I'm inside the attic. I'm talking a lot. Go ahead.
Oh no, I absolutely love that. I'm guilty of being a ranked only gamer for the most part. Occasionally I'll break out some customs, but I can't do quick matches. I'm so bad at them. I think that's really what it is. Like it's a me thing. I'm like, oh, I have no idea how this works, so I'm just not gonna do it.
Yeah.
But I think especially in this meta right now, and like you guys are saying, how the devs are handling everything, really going to standards, fighting against some bots. And some of those bots are sweaty now. What the heck? Like the one with the Blastoise, the one that's actually programmed well. I'm like, excuse me, how am I supposed to stack against you? That's rude. So, I mean, it's really, I don't think it's wrong to go into standards. And like Psyche said, most of the time we're distracted with our chat anyways. So why are we trying to sweat 25-8? I don't think that that's necessary. So I love those answers. I think those are great recommendations, honestly, for anybody not only streaming, but honestly for everybody playing the game. Like, take a breather. You run into Zash and Cumpy 3 times in a row and it's just terrible. Go do something else for a second. It's all right. Still play the game, just, different part of it. There's options for us.
That is so true. I'm going to take a quick timeout to give Cookie Dough a shout out. She just rated us with 83 people. So thank you very
Cookie
much
Dough.
for bringing all these people to episode 28 featuring Psyche and CurlieQ. Really appreciate that. Thank you very much. For anybody listening on audio, Spotify, I see all the subscribers we have. Make sure you guys come check us out on YouTube and give follows to Psyche and CurlieQ. Come support them. Really appreciate it. Hey, I have a random question, random sidestep. What do you guys think of this Lechonk sticker they're giving us in Unite?
Isn't there like a Lechonk frame too? I think I'm actually more hyped for the frame.
Or is it a frame? I misworded it. I'm sorry.
I think it's multiple things. I haven't
it?
like looked. I don't know. I just load up my game and there's like this the Lechonk thing that comes up. I feed it a berry and I don't know what happens. So I thought I saw something that there's like a frame sticker. Like I think there's a few different things. I don't know. Yeah, Lechonk is cool. You know what else is cool? Nerfing Zacian and fixing matchmaking.
Yes.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Just so you guys know, I'm heavy with the sound effects on the stream deck. So yeah, anytime you guys make great points, there's a sound effect with this. So there was a round of applause for that one right there. Oh my goodness. Yeah. It feels like a distraction. Here's a sticker, here's a border. But like Curly said, where's the matchmaking fix? Like
I'm
How
just
about the game?
hoping that they have something like just a big giant update waiting for us at the end of the season. Like it might be copium, but I feel like there's been so many times when I get to the point with Unite where I'm just like not enjoying it as much as I was. And then they do some update where I'm just like, oh my god, I am obsessed with Unite again. So that's kind of just what I'm hanging on to. Like I'm just very patient or very hopeful that at the end of these, what I think we have like 16 or 15 days left in the
yes.
season.
Yep.
Hopefully everything will at least go back to the way that it was in season 9. That's what I'm hopeful for. But yeah, it's been rough for a lot of people this season.
Yeah. I just logged in 2 days ago and I saw the border thing in the feed the berry, and I just like, not, I'm being sarcastic, but kind of serious. I like balled my fist and I was like, please tell me they're not going to drop Lechonk in this game. Oh my god, like I don't want to run around as a pig.
Imagine the like little legs though, like just like pedaling across the map. I know, I saw that. I like
I'm
opened
down.
my game. I think I was streaming and I just was like, okay, like cool. I'll give the berry to the pig. But I do think that it's really funny that the border, I'm pretty sure, is just like Lechonk on top of Lechonk. Like there's just like clusters of Lechonk. I don't really get it, but I'm whatever. It's another thing to get in game, and I'm like, I really love skins and stickers and stuff. So cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Steph.
Hey, speaking of devs, Attica, if you don't mind, another random side step from these notes here, because this came within the week. Somebody who represents, is it Unite or Tencent, put a tweet out saying that they would field questions and responses as long as we weren't the D word. So, what did you guys think of that person putting the tweet out? And if you did read the thread, I know there's a lot of responses. You can say your response. What did you guys think of that effort?
I had a lot of respect for it. I know they stated somewhere that they don't actually work on Unite, but that they're very passionate
Mm,
about it and they want to see it do well. So hopefully they have some connection, with some coworkers or whatever, and can. I mean, obviously they made the post for a reason. Like, I don't see why they would make the post and then not do anything with the information. And I know a lot of people feel like, they don't listen to us and stuff, but that post kind of made me a little hopeful, especially when you go and you read through those and everyone's pretty much talking about the same three things: communication, matchmaking, balance updates. Like, those are the three main things. And hopefully, like, regardless if they really go into the details of what we said, that they just see, okay, communication, matchmaking, balance updates, got it. Like, let's work on it. Communication is just a really big thing for me. Like, I just, even if they
mm,
take time to fix things, I just want to know that you're aware and that
Bingo.
you're working on it. That would
yes,
hold me over. The fact that
yes.
we don't even, we don't have any communication with them whatsoever. Like, we're left in the dark. We don't know what happens until it happens. And I don't feel like it should be that way.
Mm-mm.
You're right about that, Curly. Yeah. Psyche?
Yeah, I agree. I think that's what I said too. And I thought it was interesting that he didn't actually work on Unite. I was like, but do you see that, like, there are more replies than there are likes and retweets and quotes? Like,
Yes, it got ratioed.
the fact that, like,
Mm,
it
yeah.
has this many replies, like, doesn't that tell you that, like, we're starving for communication? And so, like, if like two of our devs would do that, it would cut down on the like group pylon so significantly. If they would just like once a month be like, yo, time for event sesh, like in our replies, what do you need from us? Like, I don't know why it's so difficult to do that, but I don't know what it's like to develop a game. Um I know, so when I replied to it, I said like communication, and then I knew that a ton of people would talk about Zacian and matchmaking, so I mentioned like the tutorials, the beginner tutorials.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
Those
Mm-hmm.
need to be fixed.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Ooh.
So bad. They're like they're not even
Yeah.
in Sky Ruins, they're in Remote Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
like, and I feel like it turns people off of the game because there's either people who don't know what they're doing and lobbies full of people who know what they're doing. Therefore, the people who know what they're doing get frustrated and want to quit. And then the people who don't know what they're doing, because the game doesn't really tell you what you're doing very well, they get discouraged because they're getting their butts kicked. So
Yep.
like,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that goes overlooked a lot. And I knew that other people were going to touch on like the really, really pressing issues. But I felt like the tutorials, man. And like, do tutorials on specific mons. Like, have a section where you
Yes.
can learn how to play each mon if you want to. And they can all be optional, but I feel like that would just help so much because there's so many things that I learned when I started playing with people a lot better than me that I wouldn't have known if I had just tried to figure it out by myself.
Oh, bingo. I would have never known, honestly, anything about this game if I hadn't found the streamer community. I was like, oh, that's how that works. Okay. Like, hello,
Yeah.
game. Teach, especially if they're going to release mons that have like a paragraph for how every move works. Give me a tutorial, please.
Yeah.
Hey, earlier, speaking of Yu-Gi-Oh, there are some characters that just have like a sentence for descriptions on moves, like Venusaur. And then there are some that have the Yu-Gi-Oh text where it's like a giant paragraph and different sections within it. And I'm like, oh, wait, this is the novice character and that's the expert one. Why isn't there a deeper session in the tutorial to teach folks stuff like that? But no, you guys have great points on that tweet. When I saw the tweet, it was like, I have the energy of like, you know what? I have a lot of ideas and this, that, and the third. And then it's like, okay, what's your ideas, Mike? And I'm like, oh, and I just like fumbled it. But I agree with the communication part. And one of my responses was definitely the tutorial, because it's like you said, it has the Zapdos map. And I'm just like, this doesn't help anybody starting the game new. I have a bunch of friends I could introduce it to, but I don't feel like they're going to learn it the right way. So I just hope they have like some kind of overhaul revamp. I thought it would come with Pokemon Day. It didn't. Zacian came out. So here we are. Oh, man.
Here's what's going to happen. We're going to get a new map, and then they'll update the tutorial, but it'll be for Theoruins instead of the
Yes. That's the
You
tech
guys
right there.
want
Let's go.
Skyroot's in the tutorial, so be it.
Here you go. But
Here
also,
it
here's a
is.
new map, so it still doesn't match.
Take that.
Map number 3, they upgraded to Rayquaza. Oh my goodness. That is too good. Speaking of this person tweeting on Twitter, Psyche, question for you. Can you teach the folks at home listening and those listeners who are going to jump to YouTube and watch, how can one improve their Twitter game?
Come
'Cause
out
you're a
of the
master.
closet as a gay person.
That's an amazing answer right
I
there.
got
All right.
myself with that one. So you really, honestly, the biggest things I do, I have a Pinterest folder full of reaction pictures that I can use anytime, and sometimes they don't even have to make sense. It just ups your game. I tweet some of my intrusive thoughts, but others I let go. You really have to know your audience. The ones that I let go to my circle most of the time.
Shout out to
And
the circle.
I asked someone or someone asked me one time like who are you pandering to when you tweet? And I'm like, it kind of the millennial, like the humor of millennials who are too young for Facebook, but maybe not like their humor isn't necessarily as niche as some of the things you'll see like on TikTok with Gen Z. So it's like right in the middle there. That's what I feel like most of our demographic that plays this game. So anytime it's really nuanced, I kind of stay away from my jokes. And sometimes they don't hit. Like sometimes I will tweet those and they don't really hit, but I think they're hilarious. But otherwise, yeah, no. I have just folders and bookmarks of videos, and I'll be like, how can I relate this to Pokemon? And as soon as I have one of those ideas, I post it. And sometimes I delete them very quickly.
Man, so the trick is to get the folders ready. Because I always wonder, like, how does she do it so fast? And how are they so funny? Not that I'm like questioning it like mad. I'm just like in awe.
No, but
I'm
it's
just
true.
like,
It's like,
it's
what?
just like perfect.
Amazing.
Like earlier when I put that tweet out and then you put a retweet of this is our DM conversation and it was the two girls screeching. I was just like, oh my God, like she is money. Like there has to be a lane where Psyche gets like paid for tweets. Like they are amazing.
I agree.
There has to be a way. But thanks for asking that. I answered
told my
that question.
friends too, like when I was growing up, I was not the cute one. I was definitely not super cute growing up. But I really wanted to have a bunch of friends. So I worked really hard on my personality and then I got really cute. So now I'm just perfect.
There
Now
you
you're
go.
OP. Like,
there
what?
it is.
I love her. She's
Now you're
so great.
overpowered. Now they can't stop you.
It's crazy.
Nerf-
They can't stop me, guys.
Nerf Psyche win.
Right?
6 months after Zation, it's okay.
Yeah. It's fine.
When they update the tutorial map, that's when they're gonna nerf me.
Yeah,
Oh,
there
God.
we go.
Never gonna happen.
Never.
So for those listening, you heard it here first. Get your folder game up. Start stocking up your folder. So take this next month off, get some research in, take a few days every week, get your folder game up, and then I want to see some amazing tweets next month. All right, you community, I gotta see it. Cause like
That's the homework.
I'm trying. I'm just like, I was like, how do I do this? Like between you and Big Bud and everyone's funny. I'm just like, I feel like I'm funny,
Oh my
but
gosh.
maybe just to myself. I don't know.
Big Bud. Okay, wait. Can I say bad words?
You are allowed to, but real quick, I was restraining myself because I didn't want you and Curly to feel awkward. So feel free.
Oh, no,
Oh.
not at all.
Oh, are you serious?
Yes,
Yeah, we
this
can
is
say
a.
bad words.
Everybody thinks
Alright.
I'm PG-13.
Oh,
Okay.
feel free. Unleash. Let's go.
So Big Bud tweeted the other day, and it just said "fuck you" at Papa John's, and I
Wait, what?
no context. It just said "fuck you."
What the hell?
I almost made it a sticker in my server because I was like, I don't know the context. This is hilarious. He's so pissed at Papa John's, and I didn't want context. Like he's
Yeah,
hilarious.
No context.
And it's like
it's perfect.
my tweets are definitely very calculated. Like I put, I get the videos ready. I make it related to Unite. His is just so naturally just "fuck you, Papa John's." It killed me.
No context, just "fuck you, Papa John's." Okay.
Like that's all I wanted
my
to know
goodness.
too.
That dude.
So we
he-
either prepare like Psyche, or we just get really mad at a brand and provide zero context. I'm taking notes, by the way.
Yeah,
Like, absolutely.
The next day he did something or like a little while later he was bedazzling something, and I can't remember what he said, but it killed me too. Like I had to like reply at that point. I was like, dude, you're naturally hilarious. Like none of
Oh,
like
yeah.
I feel you're not trying to be funny right now, but it's killing me.
Wait, was it the bedazzling for the shoes for Twitch or something? I think I saw that one.
Yes. Yeah,
So
and he was
good.
like
Oh,
he was
yeah.
bedazzling something, and then he was like at
He was
Twitch
bedazzling a
next
bra,
time you
I
want to
think.
do like Kai's shoes, like message me for
Yeah.
bedazzling.
Only took me like hours, and I'm like,
I don't know why it just killed me.
that one was funny. The bedazzling tweet. And then he just tags Twitch and he's like, "Next time you guys need something for Kai Sanai, hit me up." I was just like,
He
"Get
has
him,
like
bud. Get him."
bitter humor, and I love it. Like I love
Yes.
a little like shade. I live for the drama, I guess.
Yeah, when he was on the show, like I knew the word, but I never thought of it until he said it, and I was like, "Oh, I'm kind of this way." He said that he's just naturally a contrarian, so like that's definitely
Oh.
his energy. So yeah, you picked up on that, right? Because he said whatever is popular, he does the opposite, and he's like, "That's just who I
Yeah.
am." And I was like, I respect it, no problem. Yeah, of course. You gotta be
I
who you
love
are.
shady people. I love people who will throw the shade.
Yeah, but he does it so like tastefully. It's not like cringe toxic, but no, it's like hilarious. It
Right.
draws people in.
It's so funny. Fuck you, Papa John.
I would like to know the story behind that. I want to know what
It was
happened
something
to his
about being on the
pizza.
toilet. I saw it in the replies.
Oh
He
damn!
had a bad experience with Papa John.
Oh my god!
Okay.
And what he said about it was really funny too. And I can't. While you guys talk, I'm gonna look it up because it was so funny. I'm on
Yeah.
Twitter right now. Hang on.
Oh my goodness. Hey Attica, real quick, I saw your puppy in the background a couple of times. Beautiful pup.
oh yeah. Honestly, Mako had his head on my lap like through half of this, so I'm like, it's okay, everything's fine. I don't know what he's on about. It's fine.
Yeah. Hey, this will bring in the listeners from Spotify to YouTube. Attica, would you mind showing the audience that beautiful, beautiful shiny GMAX Charizard plushie? Is that okay? Is that a secret?
Yeah, let me figure out where I put it. My stream room's still a mess from last night because I was up to like, I'm on OCE hours.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Do your thing.
Ignore me.
I got
Ignore
you.
me.
Hey Curly, I see that that Score Bunny plushie in the background. I love Cinderace. That Score Bunny is awesome.
I have the
Oh,
three
there it is.
starters from Sword and Shield. Oh my god, that is
Look at
so
that. That thing is
cute.
boss. That thing is
It's
boss.
not mine. My friend drops off his plushies and tells me to babysit them, and then he never takes them back.
Oh my
They're
god.
yours. It's yours.
I love that. That's so cute.
It's amazing. Yeah.
I don't have any shiny plushies yet.
When I saw it last night, I
didn't
was
know
like,
this
"Oh my
existed.
goodness."
I'm like, hello?
Me either. I didn't know they made shiny plushies. That's so cool. Like that's really
It's
amazing.
so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have
it's
no
cool.
plushies. I'm a loser. I gotta get some.
How
Yeah.
do you not have plushies? Excuse me?
I haven't purchased
Like-
one yet.
We got to get some fundraisers going for this man. He needs plushies. He needs a laptop cooler. What else do you need?
Oh my goodness.
You need your basement to be set up so I can have that brick aesthetic on the podcast. Excuse me.
That's true. Next week, I swear, I'll be in the basement, and then the week after, I'll have a plushie. I'll work my way up.
I just
All
want
right.
you guys to know that Big Bud said, my sphincter has essentially been a shower head all morning.
Yo.
No.
Oh my goodness.
R.I.P. in peace, Big Bud. I'm sorry, dude.
R.I.P.
Sorry.
Big Bud. Man, I love sound effects. I'm glad I can fill in that space. Oh my goodness. That is great.
I know chat really wanted to hear that too. You're welcome,
Of
guys.
course. Of
Oh, that's
course.
they're here for this kind of stuff. Most definitely. Remember, we're the
I mean,
fun
I was
community
invested
casual
in
podcast. Oh yeah. So we're getting close to that time. So I want to jump to the next part here. I want to ask let's go to Curly first. Curly, do you have any events coming up that you might want to promo and get the word out on?
Oh my gosh, March was like I think it was the busiest month of streaming that I have ever had. So things are finally slowing down for me. So what I have coming up in the future, so I usually do at least two casting, or I cast 2 times over at Unite Battle Hub. If you're not familiar with them, I hope this is okay. But Unite Battle Hub is a grassroots tourney league, and they host tourneys for NA, EMEA, which is Europe, Middle East, Asia region, and
Oh,
also
okay.
for Latin America region. Yeah, and some of them are for cash prizes too. So
Oh,
I am a part of their team over there. So I actually got invited to cast with them like back in October, and they have me keep coming back. So I've been diving into casting with them over there. So definitely be sure to check out Unite Battle Hub. So 2 of those this month. I have my 4-year celebration in June, and then I'm also going to I'm gonna start. I was talking to my community about it today, actually. No one in the Unite community has done a Defender tourney. So I'm going to start planning a big Defender tourney to take place sometime after Umbreon gets its initial, like, you know, tweaking around. Like, regardless if it comes out undertuned or overtuned, surely it's probably going to need to be adjusted. So I'm shooting for a Defender tourney sometime around then, but that's not for a while. So I'm just chilling and, just taking stream one day at a time until, those days come up.
a defender tourney?
It is so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yo, I
I'm
don't know if you
excited.
know, but for some reason, at one point in time, they banned me for my username. It's just Mike Lowry. I don't understand why, but that's okay. So, in that 2-week dry period, the first few days, I was like, I'm not playing this game. I'll play Scarlet or something else. And then I got the itch and I used my Smurf, changed the name to Mike Slowbro, and I fell in love with it. And then I started playing other defenders, and I'm like an attacker all around the main, but playing defenders is so cool because you can set up the attackers to come in and finish people off. So a
Mhm.
defender tourney sounds
Mhm.
amazing. I consider myself creative, but but that sounds awesome. I can't wait for that. I got my eyes peeled. I follow you guys on Twitter all the time. I'm definitely keeping my eyes peeled for that. That's gonna be so cool. Oh my god, that is genius right
Definitely.
there.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be needing like a lot of people to
What?
help me out with that. So it's gonna be like, again after Umbreon though, because
Yeah,
we
yeah.
have so many defenders now. So I just think it would be so cool. And I'm also probably gonna like let Wiggly slide on that as well, because Wiggly is pretty much a defender if I'm being
Pretty much,
honest.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like I might let Wiggly slide on that, and there would just be like, I'm just so excited to see like how many different comps people come up with and whatnot. And I'll probably do it like solo queue, or not solo queue, but like no, like you can sign up with the team, but I'm gonna randomize like everybody. So
I
Yeah.
love that.
Yo, this is so cool. Before we jump to Psyche, real quick, my brain's putting this idea. I remember now. For the longest time, wasn't CurlieQ leading the charge in the community and on Twitter about when are we getting a new defender? That was Curly, right?
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah. And then finally, I think they're like, you know what? Hold my beer. And then, boom, boom, boom. Here we go. Defender, defender, defender. This is cool. So I think we all should really be thanking you because I don't recall anyone else ever talking about when are we getting defenders. So shout out to Curly for that. Gudra.
Yeah, and
I
Oh,
had
so-
a
yeah.
countdown on my or not a countdown, but we counted every day until we got a defender. Um, it took 420 days for us to get a
God
new defender.
damn.
From the
What?
time that we got Trevenant, yeah. Or well,
My
Gudra came
God.
out on the 420th day. That's how long it took us to get a new defender.
on her birthday.
Oh yeah, that's another thing too. I had
Hey,
tweeted
yo.
Listening
out.
to her.
I actually had no idea. Some people think that I had an inside scoop on this, and I actually had no idea. So
What?
it was sometime, I think it was like late January or February. I was like, hey, Pokemon Unite. So it's been, X amount of days since we've had a new defender. And listen, my birthday is on March 16th, and I wear a size Gudra in defender. And this was like maybe my third or fourth
That's so
time
good.
adding Pokemon Unite, telling them that I wanted Gudra in Unite. And I remember someone from the math court had messaged me like sometime after I made that tweet, and they were like, "Is your birthday actually on March 16th?" And I was like, "Yeah, why? Like, why would I lie about that?" And they're just like, oh, I was just asking." So then I ended up finding out later that it was actually intended on coming out on my birthday on March 16th, and they knew that. They had that information, and they thought that I had that information. So that's why they were like, "So your birthday's March 16th?" Like they were trying to
Oh.
see if like I actually knew. And
Yeah.
I had no idea. So when it actually was like announced, I was freaking out.
That's crazy. That is such a
Yeah.
cool gift. Like, I know Attica said she gave me some birthday gifts and a cooler for my computer, but to get a Pokemon for your birthday, that is W status right there. So cool.
That is
Oh my
really, really cool.
goodness.
I screamed when I saw that it was Gudra and it was going to be on your birthday. I'm like, she had to know. She had to know,
Yeah.
and you didn't. It's
And
amazing.
Lapras too. Lapras is coming next.
Right?
Like, oh my
Okay,
god,
but can I
it's
just
so
rep?
perfect.
I didn't realize this was going to happen, but can I just rep?
Hey, yo.
We're getting Umbreon. Hey, yo.
Yeah.
Umbreon. Yes.
Yes.
So
I'm
cool.
so excited.
Real quick, Curly and Psyche, do you guys take off soon? I don't want to burn too much time of yours.
Pretty soon.
Got you.
Oh,
Okay. All right. So Psyche, let's get to you. Do you have any upcoming events and things you want to promo? Get out there?
I hang around other people's stream, like I'll be with Kess on Wednesday. I
Yes,
know
sir.
Curly and I are gonna do like a It Takes Two thing, but
I'm so
mostly as
excited.
far as events go, I'm bad at planning things. I'm also involved with the Unite Battle Hubs, so yeah, big shout out to them. I'm
Shout out.
one of the mods over there. I'm not a caster, but I am one of the mods. Not a caster,
A
definitely.
great
I say the
mod.
F word too much. But I have been talked to a lot about things happening in June for Pride Month. So that will be a very busy month for me.
Ooh,
I
okay.
don't think I can say any details about anything, but
Yeah.
there's like already 4 or 5 things that I have been asked to do and be involved in. So June will be very busy for me. So look out, world.
For other
Prepare
reasons
yourself.
too, not just for pride. I'm just hinting this as her best friend because I'm not allowed. I told Psyche I would never say anything until it happens, but Psyche lies about something. If you know Psyche, then you know, but she lies about something very frequently, and that's also coming up around that time too. So yeah, it's gonna be a really busy month for Psyche.
Ooh, I can't wait. Okay. Yo, this is so cool. The BFF episode. I can't even say it. I'm so excited.
Right? This is
Oh my
amazing.
goodness.
I love
This
it.
is so cool. I really want to thank Psyche for like helping put this together. Because like when I tried to do the episode last week, I knew scheduling was a problem with Curly, but when Psyche said that she can get Curly for the week after, and I was like, oh, could both of you guys come? It'd be the BFF episode. And she's like, yeah, of course. And I was like, yo, that's W status right there. I love it. So
Yeah, having Curly here made it less nervous for me. I liked having Curly here. Hey, let me
for real. Oh, the heart's out for real. So before we get out of here, typically I do this earlier in the show, but we'll have this as the ending. Let's start with Curly and then Psyche, so let's go with Curly first. Curly, How did you create your username gamertag?
Um, so being a woman, I don't originally my gamer tags were my first name, which my first name is very feminine. So of course when I started playing like online multiplayer games, it led to some, not so great comments from some not so great people,
Yeah.
being a woman gamer and whatnot. So I wanted to like I was trying to whenever I got into streaming, I was like, okay, I have to like rebrand all my usernames and stuff because I'm not doxing myself. So
Oops.
I tried to like think of I had to like give myself a nickname, which was really hard for me. And I just kind of like thought about like my physical appearance and trying to think of like something cutesy, short and sweet that I would like to be called. And I don't know, I was thinking like gamer words. I was thinking of the word q, like q u q q u e u e, however you spell it. um
Mhm.
and so I just kind of like eventually built on this CurlieQ idea. I have It's hard to tell when my hair is long, it's a lot easier to tell my hair is curly, but I have naturally wavy curly hair. And I wanted to spell it with an IE instead of a Y because it felt more like a name, not like a um curly would I guess be like an adjective. Um and then I added the Q onto it because when I was little, uh my family would like play with my hair and be like, "Oh, your curly Qs are so cute." So like they refer to like my curly
Okay.
locks as curly Qs. So it just kind of like built on to this, curly Q idea, and I was like, "All right, I'm curly. That's me." And honestly, I get called Curly way more than I get called my real name. Psyche knows my real name, and sometimes when we're having like a serious moment, she will use my real name. And like, I don't mind that she uses it, but sometimes it's just like I'm like reading DMs and I'm like, "Ugh, use my real name." Like, it just makes me like kind of shut. Like, I don't mind it at all. It's just so weird because like I'm just so used to being called Curly, and even when my family like does it too, like I'm just so used to seeing Curly, being called Curly. So when someone uses my real name, it just like really like catches me off guard.
I have a
I
quick
love that
segue
story.
question, if you don't
Hmm.
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah.
I know nobody knows because I straighten the crap out of my hair, but I also have naturally wavy hair. What the heck do you do to make it look as gorgeous as your hair does? Because mine looks like a total ragamuffin problem when I wake up. So I'm like, all right, flat iron. Like, what's your secret?
So I actually used to follow this method called the curly girl method, and so I learned like a lot of ingredients that are not good for curly hair and kind of found brands that are actually
Mm.
meant for curly hair, because you'd be surprised at how many products are marketed for curly hair and they're actually not. They're filled with terrible ingredients that, are probably the reason why it's hard for you to manage your curly hair.
Big fan.
So I can, give you that information off podcast. But yeah, I basically follow like I only use products with certain stuff. I use a curl defining cream, and then a diffuser. I dry my hair with the diffuser, so like I tip my hair over and I just use the diffuser. And yeah, that's really all I do. It's actually super low maintenance.
That's amazing. Thank you. I've
Yeah.
always wondered. I'm like, her hair's so beautiful.
Thank you. I miss it being long, but I'm gonna grow it back out.
So, question for Psyche, because I was trying to set it up before. I believe you may have hit a milestone, which unlocks this new thing you're going to do, dressing up as Guy Fieri. And last week, I was privy to some information that the STR in your name is Star, but I heard a story about what it could have been from somebody else. So, you want to get into that? How did you create your username? Go for it.
So I created my username because I really like psychic Pokemon. I didn't know if you guys knew that.
Mm.
But spelling Psyche, like the actual spelling, the like PSYCHE, it was taken on Unite, so I was like, I'll spell it with the key instead. And then STR, I really like stars. So I was gonna be PSYKEYstr, but for some reason I decided to omit the A. I don't know why. I thought it would look cool. Um, and so I a lot of you guys are familiar with Mini Shep. And I went
Yes.
into his chat one time and he was like, "What does the STR stand for? Stromboli?" So everyone started calling me Psyche Stromboli. And I like leaned into it. I'm not even mad about it. I like having nicknames. But yes, I did hit 1K followers on Twitch, and I went to a bachelorette party in Austin where we all decided to dress up as Guy Fieri and go clubbing on 6th Street. Don't know why that happened. Lots of pictures though. And so I have the wig, and I was like, randomly one day I put in my announcements 1K and I'll dress up as Guy Fieri on stream. I think part of me didn't think I would hit 1K before I stopped streaming. And now I'm like, oh, that happened really fast. Crap. So now I have to dress up as Guy Fieri. Thank you for reminding me, Mike.
Oh, let's go. Oh, most definitely. Like this past week, like I think it's been a week I found out, and I was just like, I can't wait till Sunday's podcast, because finding out that Mini Shep said Stromboli was like the funniest thing ever.
So
I'm
good.
Googling
So
Stromboli.
good.
I'm like, this looks pretty good, but it's a weird
Yeah,
nickname, but
he
it's
doesn't
funny.
even call me Psyche anymore. He calls me Stromboli.
Stromboli.
I didn't even know what a Stromboli was.
Too funny. I want to thank you guys so much for coming on Cerner F5 podcast. This has been an amazing show, and time flies when you're hanging out talking to friends, and I can't believe we're a little past our time. So thank you guys for being here. And Attica?
Yes. Do I get to do the honors?
Oh yeah, I was giving you the floor to say thank you to everybody. I don't want to talk
Oh,
over you.
absolutely. No, that's what I figure is the honors. But before I say thank you to everybody, I want to make sure that we get the plugs in from both CurlieQ and Psyche. Where can we find you? Where can we follow you? Tell us all about everything. I want to know all the tags. Where are you guys online? Where can everybody go to find you before we end today?
I'm CurlieQ. CurlieQ. You can find me on Twitch. I stream every Monday through Friday. I go live at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. And I play a heck of a lot of Pokemon Unite. And yeah, if you look up CurlieQ on YouTube and Twitter and stuff, I'm sure you'll find me somewhere on there.
Google her.
Yes. Google her.
I'm sure she'd pop up right now, like immediately.
Yeah, she actually does.
Probably. And then Psyche.
Yeah, so it's PSYKEY in all caps because I really love caps lock. And then lowercase str with yeah.
Stromboli.
So I mostly use Twitter and Twitch. Otherwise, like I have a TikTok that I don't use, and I thought about starting YouTube just doing like really stale reactions to things, just like YouTuber reacts to this Pokemon Unite play, and I'm just like, cool, good play. But it's a work in progress.
Please do.
We'll see.
Please do.
We'll see.
Yes.
It's not a whole idea yet. I thought about it in the shower yesterday.
Please do.
Love it.
Love that. Real quick, Psyche, has anyone ever compared you to like Aubrey Plaza?
Only every day of my life.
Okay.
Aubrey Plaza, I got Charlie XCX today, and I've gotten that a few times, but Aubrey Plaza constantly. And I say I'm timid and shy in real life. I'm also a little bit on the aloof and kind of dark humor side. So when I used to live in Colorado, and all my friends were like, "You are Aubrey Plaza. You look like her, and we think you're gonna kill us in a weird way in the middle of the night." But we like it.
Oh my goodness. I was like, I don't want to say it, and like this is something she hates. It's a trigger, but I was like, go for it. Just dive in. So
it's a huge compliment.
Okay, cool. But yeah, thank you guys for being here. For those listening, for me, you guys can find me everywhere. Mike Lowry on Twitter, Mike Lowry Pod. I'm not Mike Lowry in the game anymore because Unite hates me, but it's cool. We're here every Sunday at 7:30 Pacific time. And thank you guys for listening, downloading, and checking us out on YouTube. And we're going to send it to Attica to get us up out of here.
Seriously, thank you guys all for being here. It's amazing. Everybody who's tuning in live, everybody who is watching on other platforms or listening, you guys rock. Thank you, CurlieQ. Thank you, Psyche, for being here. And of course, as we wrap it up here, remember, if you see us online, surrender at 5.
Oh, yeah.